Hello, good morning, everyone. It's a true honor to be here today, joining such a distinguished group of global experts to connect, learn, and co-create. A special thank you to Autodesk for bringing us all together through this forum. It's a wonderful platform for innovation and collaboration. Okay, so Xiaomi EV is a newcomer. As someone new to this field, I want to start by expressing my deepest respect to each of you, industrial pioneers whose work has shaped the landscape we're all building on today. A mobile phone company suddenly announced it was going to make cars. No one believed that at first, even ourselves. And it started from scratch and launched 2 products within just 3 years. That's absolutely incredible. And having a deep understanding of how challenging it is to make good products, we've been striving with a heart full of awe. And being overly worried, we held several reviews to analyze every possible cause for failure before the official launch. And then, what a surprise. This is the number for the pre-orders for the first car just within 24 hours of its launch. And this is the second one just within 10 minutes. And it happened to set a lap time record. Okay. Thank you. Okay, anyway, I think it must be a story relevant to speed. So this time, the interesting things happened. Our boss asked us to review what the right points we did. So the same faces in the same meeting room. Yesterday, we were thinking what's wrong with us, but today we're attacking these points and thinking what's right. So very interesting. And so far, I think many friends are curious about what happened. Okay, so let's see. First of all, the team. We have an energetic team. It is believed that the outstanding people don't need to be managed. Due to the passion, they will try their best to do everything with high self-expectations. And just like almost every studio, we have this kind of classic organization. So just as digital modeling, I will put it into the middle position to show the cooperative relationship with others. So we get in sketch from designers, translate from 2D to 3D, support CMF designer to do the proposal with rendering, and providing the milling data to physical mockup, and solve technical issue with our studio engineer in 3D data. So all of this point to the traditional challenge. Yes, profession. Let's see how profession it is. So firstly, this picture looks reasonable, but in reality, they're not true. We should help our designer to check and develop their ideas in 3D space to avoid these kind of things. Okay, secondly, even it's reasonable in 3D, but it's still far from production. It must also follow the path of design development. We need to release the final Class A data as styling output, which should be based on the theme selected, involve design refinement, and meet the production demands. And designs vary in style, which depends on individual preference. However, aesthetic principle and design quality share common ground. Digital design controls every surface, adjusts every feature line, and the volume and the highlights. This work could help the product looks more premium and high quality without additional cost. I think that must be every boss's dream because it's free. It's a total win for value. So let's be clear. The digital design is not just the simple execution modeling, but all rethinking everything from ground up. That's how we turn what if into here it is, the power of creativity. However, as the market heats up, we're facing new challenges. Yes, the needs, the user's real needs. Looking back, standard decision maximize efficiency like never before. But for personal needs, they've never been real met. We plan every step like it was a math equation, nice and neat, but zero flexible. We cannot handle any big change and emergency situation. And let's be honest, products should not go just like a life cycle. They should serve users. Okay? So our skills are just a baseline. Stop thinking like specialists. Start thinking like users. The magic would happen when we ask, what does our product need from my expertise? And then, what does our user need from our product? That's how we evaluate our work from good to game-changing. Now, this is the heart of what I want to share today, Xiaomi's approach. It's the thing that hit me like a ton of bricks when I first joined this company. Yes, very simple, just 4 words. Extreme, focus, reputation, and speed. Firstly, extreme in meeting user needs. Then focus like laser beams on those needs. Deliver more than expected, and word of mouth follow. And when the market feedback, we act fast, no delay, no excuse. Okay, that sounds cool, but in practice, it just comes down to one thing: change, refine, change again, and refine again, again and again, over and over, but never really over. In a word, we polish everything until perfect. But till now, maybe everyone could say that easily. It seems nothing special, yeah? Okay, so let's see what happened. This is the classical process. It's a simple horizontal line in chronological order. That means every work should happen in its own section, and the next step should be based on the previous output and the decisions. What's new here? So the first part is same, and the second and third. So the change exists from beginning to the end. Everyone is worried about their work would be in vain due to the input change. It is said, if you are worried about something would happen, it would be happen like as your concern. I remember it's called the Murphy's Law, right? Okay. And so the story played out exactly like this. There have been 3 big changes of our main direction. And the worst still is the deadline can't be postponed even 1 day. That means within the time limit of 1 project, we managed to finish the work equal to that of 3 projects. And I don't want to mention it, it's already covered our daily change. That's where we can easily see the contradiction between the classical design process and the rapid improvement demands. So, there are only 2 possible solutions. Which should we choose? Yes, obviously, we picked the second one, as we are a high-tech company. Because the key is efficiency. The question is where to improve, what are the needs, and how to improve, and how much we want. Let's come back to the basic logical of process: innovation, expression, validation, and decision. Our designers think hard to get more ideas by sketching, and then pick the potential sketches into rendering. Then checking if it is okay in 3D space with physical mockup based on the cast data. And finally, organizing a review with our boss to get feedback and a decision. This circle would repeat again and again. Okay, so that's where the opportunity for efficiency improvement. We hope for more innovation, expression fast, and validation instant, then make the decision anywhere. If we can do that, that's cool. And thanks to technology advancement, we have discovered a better way for each part in this loop. Parameterized control, okay, AIGC support, and the instant rendering, and the collaboration in VR. So let's go in detail. Firstly, as far as we know, at the beginning of design, we just have very simple brief input. It must start with very simple line. The AI tool helps us to generate lots of possibilities based on the Y0. But just pay attention. These pictures are not the final output. It's just inspiration for reference. Designers can pick the high potential elements to develop. It will save a great deal for testing time. Sometimes design also needs logical. What animation shows us is that we can get lots of different results by adjusting the parameters. It's really interesting to watch the process. At last, we can get enough proposals during the transformation. Yeah, all of this, we just take one day to do that. And the second step is expression. Following the ring example, since we have selected what we want, but it's still in 2D, it's just a simple graphic. How would it look like in 3D effect? So no need more time. We could get the rendering effect in several seconds. It's just a simple workflow. It brings us greater efficiency to expression rather than drawing it. Yes, the ring is very simple. So let's see how about a complex object such as the interior. Yeah, maybe someone think that's not correct in detail. You're right, but I think it's not but it's not important. I think it's easy to review by like this kind of image to understand the proposal. I think 10% accuracy sacrificed, but gain 100-fold increase in speed. It works. The third step, validation. The full-size mockup is very important for our designers to check, validate their proposal. The real size, the real viewpoint, real perspective, and the real feeling. We cannot get all of this just through the screen, even it's already in 3D. So what can we do in digital? Look, this digital modeler is refining the data, and at the same time, the designer is watching the car in VR view. That means when the surface changed, we can feel that what happened with full size in 3D space without waiting 1 second. That's very helpful for us to validate our design in 3D effect immersive. And this is not complicated. We open VR in Alias by streaming from workstation to VR device. The main screen displays the modeling interface, and the second screen shows the view of the designer view in VR. That's it. Well, here we come to the last part, decision. As we already have the basic VR use case, if we can make local validation, why not to explore it to off-site digital review rather than on-site physical review? We upload a 3D rendering file. The center server assigns the display task to each terminal over a wireless network internal. There is no need to stream the workstation everywhere again and again. Look, this guy is in Shanghai and another is in Beijing. They're using the collaboration in VRED. If the center cloud server established, all of the participants no longer have to gather in a same place for the review. We could review design everywhere with this VR device. Well, so let's summarize again. Here, 4 steps during the process. And this is what we want, the opportunity. And this is our approach, and then the result. So don't resist or worry about change. As long as we follow the needs, we're on the way of progress. Up to now, we try to ask ourselves some questions. If we are aware of the problem, why not to change? Even there is less time for us. If we find the needs changed, why not follow? Even there is less time for the project. And what is the mean? What's the mean if we don't meet our user, even we finish the project? So just keep in mind, we start with profession, but end with people needs. And people is everything, which means we must focus on the needs for people. Never forget that any technology and the process are just tools, not purpose. And people is everything. It also means that talent is the key point, just like all of you here. Your persistent work and efforts have always been the driving force behind the industrial progress, allowing us to serve people better and to make sure everyone in the world can enjoy the tech-enabled good life. Last but not least, always believe that the wonderful things are about to happen. Thank you.